As we all know, cars are cool, and Japan is known to make quite a few of them. But very often they'll make something us, and when I say us, I mostly mean Aussies, will never get. This is even more disheartening when it comes to my all-time favourite body style, the Wagon. From quick turboed beasts to cars with some classy styling, these are some cars I am upset we didn't get. Number 1. The Nissan Avenir, specifically the W11 generation, is from 1998 to 2005. I mean, right off the bat, I think this thing, even in its, base spec styling, it's a very good looking car, okay? You can't really say much against it. It's a car that you can look at, the base model, maybe it's more of a an car kind of thing, but it's got some quirky, unique styling about it. We've got interesting rear lights and such, and I think the front end looks quite nice. This car itself came with 6 different engine options, 4 of them being petrol and 2 of them diesels, because it's not just supposed to be a fun car after all. A notable engine in this car was the SR20 DET. That's right, a turbo. Interestingly, the SR20 DET only came with the 4-wheel drive and a 4-speed automatic. Weird that this mixture, that seems to be more performance-oriented, only came with an automatic transmission. In fact, the only version of this car with a manual, as far as I've been able to find, was the 1.8 litre, which came with a 5-speed manual transmission. Obviously, the version we're interested in here is the GT4Z trim, or if you're American, GT4Z, which is the one which came not only with this SR20 DET, making 169 kilowatts of power, that's 227 horsepower in American. Despite people's obvious objections, such a self-admitted performance-oriented vehicle coming in only an automatic transmission, the non-turbo version, the GT4 trim, could only be optioned with a CVT. So let us be thankful that the one we're looking at doesn't have that possibility. Nevertheless, it is a cool car. Think about it as a sporty-looking, sporty-acting wagon. And, I mean, wagons are cool anyway, but especially this one. As you could guess, we didn't get it here in Australia, but if you're watching this from New Zealand, it is possible you've seen a few of these roaming around, because, like all cool things, Japan only sells it to themselves or New Zealand for some strange reason. I have found that. A lot of random, especially Toyotas, a lot of random Toyota models will find their way over to New Zealand, but like the next door neighbour, Australia, they're like, no, they wouldn't want it. The Kiwis, yeah, they'll want it. But yeah, overall, I think this, especially the GT4Z, right, very, very interesting thing. Quite a decent amount of power, and especially such an iconic engine. It says 4-wheel drive. It's kind of their way of saying all-wheel drive. They have their own ways of riding these things. But I think it's very interesting. Very cool. Number 2. The Honda Orthia, 1996 to 2002. Once again, this is just it's a nice looking car, It is not exceptionally ugly, but it's kind of got such a basic level of styling that you can't not like it. Now, there are a few things about this car that might already seem interesting to you, or you might recognize. We'll get to that in a bit, but first off, this car came with 2 different engine options, both of them petrol, either the B18B or the B20B. Yes, this wagon is based off of the 6th gen Civic chassis, and as we know, that's the best generation, depending on who you ask. I'm not going to get into it. It also means that you can do cool things such as put the front bumper of that generation Civic on it to make it more kind of like a Civic wagon, because it's pretty much all the way there, you just kind of need that front end. When this car was initially available, it was sold with either a V or a P badge, which denoted whether it was sold at a Honda Verno or a Honda Primo dealership. and the differences were very minor between these two versions, being limited to the Verno having amber indicator lights and round fog lights, and the Primo having clear indicator lights and rectangular fog lights. In 1997, they changed their minds about having this weird split of VNP models and stopped doing that. Quite frankly, that's a good option because it was fucking retarded. The initial trim models were the GX, the 2.0 GX, the 2.0 GX 4-wheel drive, and the 2.0 GXS. Whilst they're all cool, we're primarily interested in the latter two options, the GX 4-wheel drive and the GXS. These both came with the B20B engine, not the most powerful engine in the world. It is a Honda after all, but it doesn't have to be. 110 to 112 kilowatts, or if you're in Germany, 150 to 152
Pferdestärke.
Both of these came in 4-wheel drive configurations with a 4-speed automatic. Wait for size. The GXS is especially cool, coming with a 2-tone paint job, wood-grained, patterned, interior trim, power folding mirrors, and sat-nav. We love wood grain in this household, so that is something I'm especially happy about. In 1998, a new trim became available, the 2.0 GX Aero. This came with a lip kit, carbon fiber patented interior trim, red and black patterned seats, 3-spoke steering wheel, and could be had in either front-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, or as for some reason the Japanese keep calling it 4-wheel drive, but to you and I, especially Australians, this has a completely different meaning. When you think of 4-wheel drive, you think of a Nissan Patrol or something like that. This is not like that.
480.
In 1999, a facelift came, and with it a completely different trim naming system. Naturally, you had the B, the M, the M4, the L4, and the S. If you love manual, you're going to want a B trim Orthia, as it comes in a manual 5-speed. The S is pretty much just the GXS Aero. The L4 is the 2.0 GXS, and the M4 is the 2.0 GX 4-wheel drive. The M being the 2.0 GX, and the B is almost the GX, but it still comes with the B20B instead of the B18B. I mean, like I've said, wagons are cool, and this one has the capability of being modified about as heavily as any 6th Gen Civic. For example, people love to swap the VTEC B and K engines into this vehicle. It's very, very cool. It's a very interesting vehicle. Number 3, the 6th Gen Honda Accord Wagon, 1997 to 2002. This is, like the last car, another Honda. But this is an Accord, which instantly makes it cooler. I mean, the Accord Wagon itself is pretty cool, but specifically the 6th Gen SIR, or even some of the base trim wagons in good condition, are quite cool. This is the Accord's sportier cousin, especially the SIR. This version could not only come in all-wheel drive, but included the H23A engine. For those who don't know Bull, this is a 2.3-litre inline-4 made by Honda that utilises Honda's VTEC and is rated at 200 horsepower for the front-wheel drive version, or 190 horsepower for the all-wheel drive version. An important thing to note is that it is only available with a 4-speed automatic. Later model years, 1999 to 2002, came with the S-Matic, which allowed for sequential shifting of gears, but only the sedans came from factory with a 5-speed manual transmission. Importantly, if you have a front-wheel drive version of this wagon, it's common and easier as something like this can be, to swap the transmission in the wagon for the manual from the sedan. Regardless, I think it is cool, and I mean, just look at it. This is an interesting looking vehicle. It has got a lot of, especially the SIR, it's got a lot of that sporty kind of look to it, and you look at it and you just have to turn your head. This is definitely a head-turning vehicle. Look at the thing. It's brilliant. Number 4, the Toyota Caldina, 1997 to 2002. Whilst the Caldina is a cool car in general, It's a wagon, and if you don't think wagons are cool, consult the graph. But I want to specifically look at the GTT trim. This is the trim that came with the 3S GTE engine from Toyota, a 2-litre turbocharged inline-4 producing 191 kilowatts of power, or 256 horsepower in American. The GTT originally only came with a 5-speed manual, but in November of that same year, 1997, it was able to be optioned with a manumatic 4-speed auto. Another automatic with a sequential gear selecting option on it. Many things came with this trim, including all-wheel drive, either Toyota's voice navigation system or a multi-function display. And special versions such as the aerial versions of the car came with a large sunroof and roof racks as standard. I mean, me personally, I quite like roof racks. Not from a utility standpoint, but I just think on certain cars such as wagons and sedans, like, if you have the right roof racks on it, it just kind of makes it look cooler, and I don't know why. A notable trim, the one below this, is the GT, which came with the 3S GE, that's the non-turbo one, quite obviously, and it made 140 kilowatts, 187 American. It is also still just as cool though. If you don't like this car, you should be shot. I mean, look at the thing. It's brilliant. It's such a cool looking car. It's like this cool tiny wagon, and it just it just gets going. I mean, I've seen a few of these out in the wild, and they're always in very good condition. However, I have seen a few on Marketplace a few times. I mean, obviously there's already something sketchy about finding cars on Marketplace, but I have seen a lot of them that mention transmission issues, especially for the automatics. So if you're looking into this, maybe be wary, check out the forums and such. However, either way, cool car, would love to own one day. Number 5, the Toyota Carina Surf SX. This is the 5th gen we're talking about. This is actually the predecessor to the Caldina, the similarly named Carina. The Carina Surf is a wagon variant of the standard Carina sedan, and this specific generation we're looking at came with 2-ish trim levels, the SV, SX, and something else titled SX Limited. I haven't been able to find too much about this vehicle other than general specifications. I want to look at the SX and SX Limited versions, as not only did they have the bigger engine option, a 1.8 litre 4-cylinder engine, dubbed the 4SFE or FI, depending on who you ask, of which produced a whopping 77 kilowatts of power. That is 103 American. But because it is also the better looking, as there are some minor styling things along with body colour bumpers on it. This generation of Carina could come with a 4 or 5-speed manual or a 4-speed automatic. I have to assume one of these could have been optioned in the Surf. In general, I don't have much to say on specs, but what I can say is that it looks sick as. I mean, especially this very specific example that I can only find 2 photos of. Very, very cool looking. Okay, this is one of those older classic kind of wagons, and you'd be like, this is like the stereotypical wagon shape, but especially this SX Limited example I could find. It looks really cool. Okay, it's got a little sporty flair to it, even if it is slow as shit. But like, again, this is another one of those ones that I'd probably want to own. Like, it's cool, it's classy, it's got that classic feel about it. But then again, there are other, I believe they're deemed as classics nowadays, which might make the older audience feel even older. But other classics that I think would be really cool to own, especially in wagon form, would be either a, these aren't Japanese by the way, a VL or even like a VK Commodore of that era, because I just think they're really cool. But regardless, let me know what you thought of my picks down below. Would you want any of these cars? Do you hate wagons? If so, don't bother sharing your opinion in the comments below, we don't want it. If you enjoyed the video, let me know. If you want more videos like this, let me know down in the comments also. Don't forget to leave a like on the video if you liked it, press the dislike button twice if you disliked it, and subscribe.